Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mr. Z here. Our harvest of the month is broccoli, so I want to show you a quick recipe that I think is pretty easy and that I think you can do at home with just a few ingredients. So stay tuned to find out what that recipe is. If you are a student and you want to make this recipe, I'd say this is geared towards about third grade and up. And if you're going to do the chopping of the vegetables yourself, ask an adult for help. All right, here we go. Here are the ingredients you will need to get together for the Harvest of the Month recipe. You will need some broccoli, some garlic and ginger. This is called oyster sauce, and it's pretty common in grocery stores. You should be able to find it. Some soy sauce, and I'm using tamari. This is a gluten-free soy sauce. I should also say the oyster sauce is not vegetarian. It does have oyster in it, so if you are vegetarian or allergic to shellfish, just skip the oyster sauce. You're going to need some salt. If you have it, some white pepper. If not, black pepper works just fine. And some white sesame seeds. I'm going to prep the ingredients that we have here, and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay, I've prepped the ingredients. Here we have our broccoli. I've cut the pieces down to the florets, and I've tried to save as much of the stem as possible. Some of the bigger stems are a little tough and fibrous, and so I threw those into the compost pile. I've also chopped up 3 cloves of garlic and about an inch piece of ginger. That's going to go into this recipe as well. And then I've mixed together our oyster sauce and soy sauce. I actually also added a little tiny touch of honey, a bit of chili because I like it spicy, and a little bit of water to thin the sauce out so you can see the texture right here. This is going to go into our recipe. Alright, next step is how to make this. I have a pot of boiling water ready to go here to blanch our broccoli. Next to the pot of water I have a bowl of ice water. This is cold water that once I pull the broccoli out is going to make the broccoli stop cooking. So I'll put our broccoli in, and I'm going to cook it for roughly 1 minute. I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you how to stop cooking the broccoli. Okay, our broccoli has been cooking for a little bit longer than a minute, so I'm going to let it go for about 10 more seconds, and I'm going to show you how to stop the cooking on that. So remember, I have my bowl of ice water ready to go. I've got my tool ready to help get the broccoli out, and here we go. I'm going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to immediately take out the broccoli. I'm going to try and get as much of it out as possible. Alright, now by doing this you're going to stop it from cooking, so it's not going to be mushy, and it's going to make it really bright green vibrant color, so it also is going to make your food look prettier. Alright, I'll come back at the next step. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to cook this. First I'm going to turn the heat up on my pot. I'm going to put it medium heat. I have one of these. This is a wok, but if you don't, you can use any saute pan. That's going to be big enough to hold all your ingredients. Now while that's heating up, what I like to do is I like to put my ingredients in the order that they need to go into the recipe. So first I've got my ginger and garlic, that's going to go in first. Then I'm going to add my broccoli, that's going to go in second. And then when the broccoli is finished cooking, I'm going to add the sauce and cook that together real quick. I'm going to do my best to show you how to cook this with just one hand. So first, you see my wok is nice and hot. I'm going to add a little bit of oil, maybe a tablespoon. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to make sure it covers the entire surface of my wok. If you're using a saute pan, just make sure that it's covering the entire surface of your saute pan. Now see if that's hot. I'm not touching it, I'm just putting my hand over it to feel how hot it is. That feels like it's ready. It looks like the oil is just starting to simmer and smoke. So I'm going to add my ginger and garlic. And I'm going to keep moving that. I don't want that to burn. So I keep moving that, stirring that around, trying to get a little flavor into the oil, into the cooking oil. And I'm trying to extract a little more flavor from our ginger and garlic as well. smells good, I can tell you that. Alright, I'm going to take my broccoli and I'm going to add my broccoli. I'm going to keep stirring. Now remember, this broccoli is already cooked, so I don't need to do this for too long because I don't want to burn our ginger and garlic. I'm actually going to turn the heat up a little bit. Keep stirring it. Alright, I'm going to add our sauce next. So this is the sauce that we made earlier. This is going to give the flavor that I want. Add that sauce in. And stir it in to make sure. The other thing you can do to the sauce is you can add a little bit of cornstarch to the sauce. That'll make it thicken up a little bit and coat your broccoli. And as soon as that sauce is about as thick as I want it to be, this is ready to go. We're almost ready for that. That's almost there. Alright, that feels pretty good. So now I'm going to turn off the heat. Don't grab this with your bare hands. That's how you get a burn. So I'm going to grab it with this. Bring it right over here. Add that to my finished plate. Now we're almost done. Remember I said you could use a little bit of sesame seed for this. So I have my sesame seeds right here. I'm going to take a pinch, add that to the top of my dish, and then I'll show you how I like to serve that. Okay, I like to eat this with a little bit of brown rice. So I made this using my rice cooker. I'm going to give myself a nice spoonful of rice. I'm pretty hungry. Actually, let's do 2. This is my lunch today. And then I'm going to come over here and just take this and spoon it right on top like that. Get a little more of that sauce over the rice, and that little extra sesame seed on top is our Harvest of the Month recipe. So this is stir-fried broccoli with ginger and garlic. Adjust it how you like. Make it a little salty. You can add a little honey if you want to make it sweeter. You can use any vegetable with this. Throw some onions in there. Throw some tofu in there. But I think it's something that you're going to really like. So enjoy.